After hiring Ben Johnson, the next most important thing becomes filling out the rest of this coaching staff. I expect this to get moving very quickly, and I believe he will fill out the rest of this staff very soon. I wanted to talk briefly about what to expect, as well as give some updates on some interviews and names floating around. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First, we have an update as the Bears have requested to interview Rams assistant head coach, defensive back coach, and passing game coordinator Aubrey Pleasant for the defensive coordinator job. I do want to correct something here because people have seen the passing game coordinator title and they say, why are we interviewing him for a DC job? Listen, this is a defensive guy. He's been a defensive coach from 2011 to 2024. This year, he was also the passing game coordinator as well as the defensive backs coach and assistant head coach. So, on top of all of his defensive experience, he also got to work underneath Sean McVay as the passing game coordinator. So, he got a ton of extra experience here, and he's going to interview to be our DC, which segues perfectly into the main point of this video filling out the coaching staff. First, by far the most important hire to me is that defensive coordinator position. The popular name that's circling around right now actually fits all of the criteria of what I'm looking for. That name is Dennis Allen, the former Saints head coach and longtime defensive coordinator underneath Sean Payton. I think he would be an absolutely perfect hire to pair with Ben Johnson, but until that's official, I just want to make it clear that I want someone experienced to lead this defense. With Ben Johnson being an offensive minded coach and a first time head coach, I believe that experience and having a leader to run the defense is vital for this coaching staff going forward. To me, though, the second most important spot is offensive coordinator. Now, a lot of people might question this and say it could be the QB coach or the O line coach, but here's my point here Ben Johnson is our play caller. He's the leader of this offense and this team. But I want the guy he hires as offensive coordinator to specialize in offensive line development. And that is where we can hire pretty much any offensive line coach in the NFL. If we promote any team's O line coach, unless they're an assistant head coach, to be offensive coordinator of the Bears, even though they wouldn't be calling plays, it'd still be considered a promotion. So to me, we can bring in an offensive line guru as our offensive coordinator, and that would be my second most important hire. One offensive line coach's name that has been mentioned is Hank Fraley. That's the Lions offensive line coach. He's a potential candidate and someone to keep an eye on, but so is Raiders offensive line coach Joe Philbin. But then the third most important hire to me is going to be our special teams coordinator. Always overlooked, we need another leader on special teams as well. We get our leader on defense, then we get someone to develop the offensive line, and then a leader of special teams. Those are my three most important hires, and there are a rumor of Saints' last interim head coach, Darren Rizzi, being in the mix to be our special teams coordinator. I won't get ahead of myself here, but if Ben Johnson can somehow land two guys who have previous head coaching experience to serve on his staff, I'll be extremely happy. But here are the names that are floating around. For defensive coordinator, we've been connected to Dennis Allen, Ron Rivera, Aubrey Pleasant, and more. As far as offensive coordinator, it's been Hank Fraley, Joe Philbin, and Thomas Brown. And for special teams, it's Darren Rizzi and Richard Hightower right now. I do not expect we will have to wait very long. I expect this head coaching search to get done very soon. So stay tuned. Let me know who your favorites are. If you missed it, I've dropped some awesome videos in the last few days. Please remember to hit that like button for me. Stay tuned. And until next time, bear down.